All right, so hey, thank you again for coming over here and support me on this speech. Okay, so the purpose of this speech today is going to be an informative speech, okay, on the Congressional Medal of Honor, Master Sergeant Roy P. Benavides. Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember this famous quote from past President John F. Kennedy. Okay, ask what your country can do for you. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Okay, you guys remember that? You guys kind of. So the reason why I started off with that quote is because once I tell you about Master Sergeant Roy P. Benavides, okay, you're gonna understand, the reason behind it. Okay. So who was Roy P. Benavides? So he was born in 1935 near Cuervo, Texas. According to SiteWarrior.com, okay, he was born to a Mexican father and a Yaqui Indian mother. All right. At the very young age, both parents passed away from tuberculosis. Okay. He was adopted by aunt and uncle. Okay, and was raised by them and a grandparent. As a young kid, he dropped out of school in the 7th grade. He worked in many places. He worked shining shoes in the bus station. Okay. He worked at a tire shop. He worked in the fields in Texas and in Colorado. As he grew older, he wanted to do something else. He wanted to have a skill. So he joined the National Guard. Okay. So he always liked the men in uniform and how they act and how they look. So he joined the National Guard. So later, okay, he transitions over to the regular Army. He goes to Fort Bragg. Okay, graduates from basic or airborne school. Okay. So while he's at Fort Bragg, he sees, Special Forces, Green Berets. Okay. So his interest is sparked. All right. So he goes and tries for the Green Beret. Okay. And then he earns that Green Beret. All right. So his first tour in Vietnam as a Green Beret, okay, he stepped on a landmine. He ended up in Brooke Army Hospital, where the doctors told him that he will not walk again. Okay. Roy laid in a hospital bed for months, and every time he will get off the bed, he will use his elbows, okay, and forearms to go to the wall and stand up and try to move his lower extremities. All right. He did that for a few months. Nurses will come in, they'll find him on the floor, okay, they'll pick him up, they'll put him back in the bed. Okay. So this guy was determined to walk again, which he did. Okay. He went back to Fort Bragg, he was training. Okay. So on his second tour to Vietnam, this is why he earned the Congressional Medal of Honor. He was in Vietnam, okay. He was an intelligence officer, okay. So while he was in Vietnam, he was close to a radio where he heard the call, okay. Somebody came on the radio and said, "Please help us, get us out of here." Okay. Helicopter comes in. They were going to that rescue mission. He volunteered. Everything happened so fast that he even left his weapon. He just jumped in the helicopter with no weapon, no nothing. He just jumped in, trying to help. Okay, there was a 12-man team of Green Berets that were stranded somewhere in Vietnam. Okay, and he got on the helicopter to go help. The helicopter gets to the zone. Okay, obviously it's a hot zone. Okay, the helicopter couldn't land. They were hovering 10 feet above the landing zone. Okay, he just jumped out. As soon as he jumped out, started seeing bodies, try to recover. Okay, he was bringing in, the first time that he ran to somebody, he got shot in the face, okay, in the jaw. Okay, and that didn't stop him. He kept going, grabbing people left and right, okay, carrying them back and forth from the helicopter, from the zone to the helicopter. Okay. He, in the process of rescuing all these people, okay, and recovering all the intel that was on the ground, he suffered 37 injuries, a total of 37 injuries. Okay. Finally got him in the helicopter. Okay. They go to the hospital. He's at the hospital for months, okay, trying to recover. They thought he was dead. Matter of fact, they put him in a body bag. Okay. Got to the hospital. He couldn't talk. He was alive, but he couldn't talk. So people thought he was dead. Okay. After sustaining 37 injuries. One of the doctors goes over to him, puts his hand on his chest. Okay. And according to Roy, okay, if you guys have time, look up his speech on YouTube, okay? According to Roy, he said the only thing that I could do at that moment was that he spit on the doctor's face, and that's how the doctor found out that he was still alive. He couldn't move his eyes, he couldn't talk, he couldn't do anything, but he spit on the doctor's face, and the doctor found out like, oh man, this guy is still alive, okay? So he even recovered 2 enemy bodies, okay? And in his speech, he resembles that, and he said, my job was to go rescue that team and collect all the evidence, all the intel. Those enemy guys had intel, so I put them in the helicopter. All right. So, in conclusion, okay, we talked about who was Roy P. Benavides, his military career, and why he earned the Medal of Honor, Congressional Medal of Honor. All right, my son Benavides was a true American hero. Okay, his actions are exactly the meaning of selfless service. Thank you.